Good Wednesday afternoon, and thank you for joining us for 22 News at 4 o'clock. I'm Nick Oresco. A chilly, wet, and windy day out there. Some science, though, as we bring in Jack Wu. Colder air is actually more dense than warm air, so it takes a longer time for the warm air to push out those colder temperatures. So we're still seeing temperatures in the 40s across western Massachusetts. Just south of us, though, in Connecticut, temperatures near 60 degrees.
I know. I was coming from that area, and it was warm, but the rain definitely not helping out, and it also could slow you down with your traffic. Let's take a look at that right now. Not looking at any road impediments at the moment, but we are looking at that rain being pretty consistent through the evening hours. So if you do have to get somewhere in a hurry, make sure you plan for that in advance. Give yourself a little extra time on the roads. We do have our normal construction sites down Route 5 in West Springfield, but other than that, not looking at anything else impeding our traffic. Let's take a look at our live camera, though, in Springfield. Not much to see because we're looking at a lot of that fog and a lot of that rain at the moment. 22 News Storm Team has issued that weather alert for the flood watch that is active all throughout western Massachusetts. This goes until 7 a.m. Thursday morning. This is because we could see some localized flooding from some heavy rain this evening. There's also a wind advisory. That's until 1 a.m. Thursday morning. Wind gusts up to 55 miles an hour for eastern parts of Hampshire and Hampden County. So if you have those Christmas decorations outside, secure those down as best you can. Temperatures now a little on the warmer side, but not as warm as we are seeing to our neighbors in the south. 41 in Westfield, 48 in Springfield, still well above the average for this time of year. But we're seeing those low 50s and even 60 in Great Barrington at the moment. Clouds and radar showing us that this rain is not showing many signs of slowing down, and we could even see some trailing snow. We're going to let you know exactly when that is in just a few minutes with the 22 News Storm Team Skycast.
Jack, thank you. Greenfield Savings Bank's iconic ATM in a tree is now the site of a major investigation after more than $150,000 was stolen from it. Greenfield police responded to an alarm at this unique ATM on the Mohawk Trail around 3 o'clock Friday morning. Police say they saw an unattended Ford pickup truck next to the structure with the engine on, with the machine's front ripped off. Police believe the suspects hooked chains onto the ATM and the back of the truck to pull off the machine's front and expose the money.
So they bailed out of the truck, they ran. It appears they put the cash cartridges containing upwards of $150,000 in duffel bags, and they were seen on various surveillance cameras in the area running from the truck.
A second vehicle that was rented and traced back to Texas pulled up next to the broken ATM and drove off with the suspects. That vehicle was later found abandoned at Boston Logan International Airport. An investigation is ongoing. The Department of Conservation and Recreation announced that the Appalachian Trail at the East Mountain State Forest has reopened since its closure in November. The agency says that the trail was closed due to the butternut wildfire activity. That fire burned almost 2 weeks and through nearly 1,700 acres of land. The fire spanned over 3 miles with a perimeter of just over 10, with 400 firefighters called in to help. Luckily, no buildings were damaged and no firefighters were hurt. Investigators continue to gather evidence in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. According to a senior law enforcement official, fingerprints taken from suspect Luigi Mangione match some prints found near the New York City crime scene. It's not clear where the New York prints were taken from. Police previously said that the suspected gunman had visited a Starbucks before the shooting and purchased a water bottle and 2 protein bars. Police recovered a video showing where those items were thrown away, and both were collected as evidence. FBI Director Chris Wray says he will resign by the end of the Biden administration. He announced his plans to Bureau employees this afternoon. Wray was appointed by Donald Trump in 2017 after the then president fired James Comey as FBI director. The now president-elect has already said he will nominate Kash Patel for the position of the FBI director, a job which has typically come from a 10-year term, part of the post-Watergate reform intended to make FBI directors less beholden to the whims of presidents. Back now with Jack Wu. Out there on the roads this evening, Jack, it's going to be kind of a mess out there.
Oh, definitely. Again, you want to take extra time to get wherever you're going because we're expecting this rain to keep going through the evening hours. Let's take a look at our 22 News Storm Team Skycast. 7 p.m. this evening, that rain's coming down. And if you thought it was coming down heavy now, it's coming down even heavier as we go into the evening hours. But getting closer to the overnight, we actually see some trailing snow from those colder temperatures that are approaching right around 10 p.m. Wednesday. Now, this snow mainly takes effect in the Berkshires, but a flurry or two in the Pioneer Valley, definitely not out of the question. By 1 a.m. Thursday morning, we are looking at a clearing of those showers, and we do get clear skies in the early parts of Thursday, right around 6 a.m. in the morning. But some cloud cover may bring a flurry or two in the early afternoon, especially for northern parts of the Pioneer Valley and the Berkshires as well. Now, this cloud cover is pretty fleeting, more of a sun-cloud mix during the daytime hours, and then partly cloudy skies heading towards 7 p.m. on Thursday. The overnight is looking nice and clear, and we're expecting these clear conditions heading towards the weekend. Nick?
Boston Red Sox have made one of their first big moves of the offseason. According to The Athletic, the Sox have acquired left-handed pitcher Garrett Crochet from the Chicago White Sox in a trade that will send over 4 of Boston's prospects. 2 of those include catcher Kyle Teal and outfielder Braden Montgomery. Crochet ended the 2024 season with a .358 ERA and 209 strikeouts over 32 starts. The University of North Carolina has offered Bill Belichick their head coaching job. The former Patriots coach outlined his vision for running an NFL-style program at the collegiate level. He said if he were to run a collegiate program, he plans to put the students on a professional level. He says he would use the program to get players ready for a career, whether it's in the NFL or not. This will be the first time in his career that Belichick has coached at the college level. Well, tonight on 22 News, starting at 5 o'clock, the troubled West-East Rail project continues its planning phase. We'll explain what has been proposed for a station in Palmer. Plus, the latest on a rejected proposal that would have increased pay for several Springfield officials. And with the upcoming second Trump administration threatening mass deportation, we examine the primary concerns here in Massachusetts.
And one last look at the traffic. We're not looking at any road impediments, at least the man-made variety, but that rain going down this evening could slow you down on your way home. So make sure you're cautious on the roads and taking a little extra time. Nick?
Yeah, take it easy out on the roads for sure. Jack, thank you, and thank you for joining us for 22 News at 4 o'clock. Latest news and weather anytime on our website, wwlp.com, and the free 22 News app.